Hi, everybody, and welcome back to episode 9 of Hear Her Roar. We are coming to you live once again from the Mic'd Up Studios in Parramatta. Now, unfortunately, Rachel can't be with me this afternoon, but I have for her return performance the crowd favourite, Auntie Linda. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much. You know how much I loved last time, and it's great to be back.
It's so good to have you back. We've already trimmed the run sheet, knowing that we'll probably be here all night otherwise, but we do have lots to get through tonight. So the first thing we're going to have a chat about is the game at Leichhardt on the weekend and your best memories at Leichhardt Oval. Then we're going to have a chat about the Women's Pathways updates with the games already started this weekend. Have a quick chat about Origin. Not too much of a chat about Origin, but there's something else that you want to chat about off the back of Origin as well. Then we'll go into a review of our Titans win, and then we'll preview our Dolphins win. So as I said, a massive episode, and we've trimmed stuff. So guys, hold on. You're in for a wild ride this afternoon. So Leichhardt Oval, before we actually talk about the game, which we'll talk about a little bit later, Leichhardt Oval is a place that means something very different to every West Tigers supporter. So it's more than a football ground. It's part of our identity as a club, as a fan, and it is honestly one of rugby league's most iconic venues. We saw on Sunday that Brent Reid came out. Did you see the video that was put together both by the West Tigers TV guys and also by Brent and his team as well?
Yep.
Yeah, so the Claws Out guys put together a bit of a 15-minute montage, so it was a little bit longer. The one Brent Reid put out was about 4 minutes, but essentially the message was the same. So even though Brent Reid had come into the day saying that he thought that, Leichhardt wasn't the greatest place to watch rugby league, by the end of the day he was like, you know what? I see what you're saying, but the place needs a bit of a facelift, which we've all sort of agreed with for the last couple of years. But Linda, what does Leichhardt Oval mean to you as Linda and also, as your journey as a West Tigers supporter?
Gosh, I could talk for hours on that. It starts before I even leave the house. As soon as I open my eyes and it's game day at Leichhardt, it's just that extra element of excitement. Walking through the crowds, to pick a favourite spot in Leichhardt or a favourite moment or thing, I can't, darling, I can't. Being there, we were on the field, my husband and I.
We did see you on the field, so you got to watch the halftime heroes and then cheer the boys out after halftime.
Totally, that was just, and I've met them a lot outside of game day, and they're fabulous, they're human beings, but on that moment they're running out as professional sportsmen there to do a job, and to see that up close in their eyes as they were running out, that was a huge highlight for me. It's something that will stick with me forever, because I see them at the photos when we're mucking around or different things, but watching, I don't know, this element come over them as they were running out of the tunnel, it was just, oh my goodness, look at them, they're ready. Like that's what happens, It's just this flick of a switch into this is our job, and we're at Leichhardt, and give us the ball. Yeah,
especially Sunday being down by a couple of points at halftime. So you saw them when they came back out of those sheds, knowing that they had a job to do and that they were going to have to dig deep to be able to do that job. I've done the Guard of Honour at Leichhardt before, and it's such an amazing atmosphere to be standing out on the field, the crowd going crazy, especially Sunday's crowd. Sunday's crowd was absolutely next level. Yep. It was, all three of our crowds this year have been around the same numbers, and even towards the end of last year when we weren't quite travelling as well. But there's just that aura that comes out at Leichhardt that's very different to any other venue.
Absolutely. And I've got my special groups of people that wait in different spots because they know we're going to walk through to give them a kiss and a hug and a hello at it's the only ground it happens at.
Yeah.
Everyone's in their certain spots, you know what I mean? That's where they sit, and we see each other, and it's just, the energy is incredible.
It is. So Brett and I, our second date was actually at Leichhardt Oval.
Cute.
So we met the week before and, decided that we'd give it a crack. So we went out for dinner on the Saturday night, and as he was dropping me off, I said, well, do you want to go to the game tomorrow if we can get tickets? Because at that point, neither of us were members at the time. So went upstairs, was able to get 2 tickets, and that was for round 1, 2012. So I don't know if
rest
you
is history.
remember that game. I will admit, so Brett and I have not seen a finals game together. Our first game together was the start of the finals drought, but don't hold that against us.
Not at all. Not at all.
But yeah, so that was wasn't my first time at Leichhardt Oval, but it's definitely a game that I hold very, very dear to my heart. We did win that game, golden point, Benji field goal against the Sharks. Was also the game where Teddy did his knee one of the 17 times that it felt like that he did his knee. But yeah, so that's probably my first really strong memory of Leichhardt, even though I had been there earlier, and I found photos of younger me, 17-year-old me out at Leichhardt Oval with some mates. But yeah, that one really, really sort of sinks in, and it's one of those games that gets used on the highlight reels for Leichhardt because it was an insane crowd. Like at the time I was working in Woolwich, which very close to the area, and lots of girls from Woolwich were Tigers supporters and walking around with, who's Miss Hobson with? Who's that boy she's with? Yeah, that's what the stories were on Monday morning. But yeah, it was just such an amazing day. But do you have a favourite game from Leichhardt?
Yes, I certainly do. It was just when COVID started, and so they had that, stupid 1 metre rule, and you couldn't do all this stuff. Anyway, it's not often I spit the dummy, but when I do, get out of the way. So
I couldn't imagine that.
It was huge. I was in the corporate area and crap went down, and I'm like, right, I'm not doing this. I'm going to go and stand under the scoreboard. So my husband dutifully followed me away. I've stormed off. So I'm standing under the scoreboard, and it just started to drizzle.
Is this the Brisbane game?
Yes.
Yes. That was our wedding anniversary.
Oh, darling, this is even better if I had known. And it was just starting to drizzle rain, and there was this little boy there, and he would have been about 5, and I'm high-fiving. And I said, we're going to win. He said, yeah, we're going to win 40-0. And I went, nice. We won 48-0.
48-0.
But I wasn't drenched. It was just
that misty.
That misty.
Yeah.
And I was a fan on the hill again, and as much as I love the corporate, it's great up there, you know what I mean? It's especially not lining up for the toilets. I love that part. To be on that hill under that scoreboard on that particular night was just a brilliant time. It really was a brilliant time. I wouldn't have been in corporate for the world, I have to add one more, and as I've gotten a little bit older, not too much older people, but I was in the cheer squad when I was at school at Leichhardt High. And as I get older, I'm having flashbacks of Laurie Nichols coming up to us. At the time, it was just, I assumed he'd always be there. Do you know what I mean? He was just always going to be there. And, obviously when he passed, we were all heartbroken. But those memories are coming back to me now of, I can close my eyes and vividly see him telling each and every one of us how we're absolutely beautiful and we're the best in the whole world, and every single game. And I just think, I got that. Yeah. He looked in my eyes and said to me,
West Tigers royalty.
Yes, darling, that's exactly right. So I can't wait to go to heaven to see him again,
Yeah, nice. Apart from that Sharks game, I've got a couple similar that were my favourite games. So round 1, 2015 was Woodsy's 100th game, and we played Melbourne Storm. And we smashed them, which doesn't happen very often, 34-16. Now, I've got photos on my phone still from that game. I went to 5 Dock Bolo, which is where they used to go after the game, and got a photo with Woodsy and Robbie and Paddy that night. But there was only 7,500 people there that night. And I was like, oof, it's very, it just shows the difference between, what's happening when the club's not doing so great versus when, everybody's really behind the club, even though we've just come off the back of 3 wooden spoons and things like that. Leichhardt has helped to bring the West Tigers community together.
Yeah, I come up with something, and I can pat myself on the back on this one. And I was talking to a few of the West Magpies directors and Dr. Les, the chairman of Balmain, and I said, the Holman Barnes Group bring to the table the best that money can buy. And Balmain bring to the table the best that money can't buy in Leichhardt Oval.
Yeah.
So what a marriage.
I love that. That's
So
a
do I.
really, really, really good way
And
to
if
put
all
it.
of our fans can unite, like we need the money to pay the bills, I get that. And we all know the history of what happened to Balmain. I get that. But you can't put a price on Leichhardt Oval.
No.
And we can't put a price on what Holman Barnes will give to our club. It's just we're in this blessed position to have that ground and such a, and it's an amazing organisation. Highly successful, highly profitable. So we have the best of both worlds. And as soon as we all wrap around that, everything is energy.
That's right.
Everything is energy. So you hold any animosity, it's there. It's just filtering in the ether. If we can get rid of all of that and realise, you know what? We got what money can't buy, the best that money can't buy. And we've got the best that money can buy. And Benji Marshall, I'll talk about that man all day. Let's all unite on that. All right? And then see where it takes us.
Okay, so here's a question for you then. So we're not going to get any NRL games at Leichhardt Oval for the next 18 months.
No.
The majority of the games will be played out at Campbelltown.
Yeah.
How do we get the fan base to transfer that energy from Leichhardt to Campbelltown?
By doing pretty much what I've just said. Listen to me, people. I know. Just embrace what we've got. Embrace it, because when you look at it in black and white on a piece of paper, it's pretty impressive. We've got a monster club that owns us, Holman Barnes, highly profitable, and Leichhardt Oval. So if we can take that and knowing we could turn that to Campbelltown, because Campbelltown is our nursery now. So, and that'll be having a major development as well. But it also always goes back to we win games, people will come and watch.
That's right, yeah.
So I believe we will win a lot more games when we are all on the one level of energy, loving what we have evolved into. And again, I'll just keep preaching the name of Benji Marshall, how he just seems to have that, brings it all together, you know?
The word that I picked up there that you said is evolution. Like we've been the West Tigers now for 26 years.
A long time, I know.
But we constantly see still on social media this divide between us versus them of West Magpies versus the Balmain
Who's
Tigers.
got the money, who hasn't, yada, yada.
Yeah, but exactly what you've just said is we need to overcome that.
100% enough. Just try. Just everyone. Just try. Go, you know what? We're really cool. Look at us.
Exactly.
Look at us.
And
Let's act that way.
We've always said that this club is the sleeping giant of the NRL.
Yep.
If we could get everybody that turns up at Leichhardt on the weekend in their Balmain jerseys to turn up at Campbelltown this weekend, plus the Campbelltown guys that turn up at Campbelltown.
Yes.
All together.
Oh, darling, perfect.
We would sell Campbelltown out every week as well. So it's really, guys, it's really not that hard to drive from Campbelltown to Leichhardt or vice versa.
And a train station there.
Both of us do that all the time. You would not catch us miss games at either
Come
venue.
on, we would walk over hot coals to get there.
This is very true. So you're exactly right. For Campbelltown, Lumia Station's right out the front.
Brilliant.
But to get from Leichhardt to Campbelltown, you can get on the M8 or whatever it's called now.
I call it M8. I love the M8.
What's at the City West Link,
Absolutely,
essentially.
one road.
And you don't hit a set of traffic lights till you get – actually, I think you would get one set of traffic lights if you did that drive from Leichhardt.
Brilliant.
And you got off at Campbelltown Road and pulled into the back of Lumia.
We live at Thormere, which is just past Picton, and the last game at Leichhardt, we stayed back a bit late, so there wasn't that much traffic. We were home in an hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was just a dream trip. And when you won, you're cheering all the way home, and it's a lovely drive, you know?
Yeah. So
but that's what we got to do. You know, I get not everyone can do it, and everyone is finding every dollar today is so, goodness gracious. But more of our energy, you know what I mean? If we can just all start to wrap our minds and hearts around the fact that we have the potential to be like powerhouse, that will produce results.
That's it. And carpool, find a mate.
Oh, totally.
Come
Come and stay at my place. I'll put you up. 15 acres, put a tent out the back. You'll be right.
Share the drive, share the love.
Yes.
Okay. Any other memories of Leichhardt Oval that you want to quickly talk about before we move on?
Just there's everything about it. It's walking into the ground. It's just Leichhardt. It's the eighth wonder.
It is.
Say no more.
Yeah.
And that we beat Titans again, come from behind wind. Oh, it's a shame I didn't bump into Gordon Tallis again.
I did.
Did you?
Before the game, he was with Reedy at the Orange Grove, and I asked him for a photo, and he reluctantly took one. But we won't go there because I know he's not exactly your favourite
Linda
person.
1, Tallis 0.
Yep.
I'll just say.
Yeah. I just think it's such an amazing venue. We were at the Orange Grove beforehand.
I saw your interviews. You're fabulous.
Somehow we managed to get into the Orange Grove, and I did. I spoke to a couple of groups of lovely ladies that were out at the Orange Grove, all ranging from, seasoned Leichhardt attendees from the age of 3 all the way up to people who had travelled from Queensland and even further, like far north Queensland, for their very first game at Leichhardt because they didn't want to miss it.
That's it. No one else will travel that far, especially to go to one particular ground.
And just a general normal season game, not a final, nothing special. It was just a standard game at Leichhardt, but people didn't want to miss it.
Exactly right. Special place. It's ours.
Special place. Anyway, let's move on and have a chat about our girls.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
you can bring up Origin. I'm like,
not yet. We'll save the boys for last. But the weekend that just passed, the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership kicked off.
Yep.
So our Pathways girls, so Tasha Gale and Lisa Fiola wrapped up a couple of weeks ago, but now that next level in the Pathways is underway with the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership, and they played against the Central Coast Roosters. Now, they played that game at the same time as the boys were playing at Leichhardt. It was a 3:00 kickoff, so none of us unfortunately got to go to the game, which was the original plan. But Rach has Bar TV, so you can watch the games on Bar TV, and so she jumped in and watched the replay for us to give us a little bit of a rundown
Rachel,
while she's not
thank
here.
You, darling.
So she said that the Tigers got out to a 14-0 lead before the game started to actually get into a grind. So the girls were on top. Being the first game of the year, she said that there were a few mistakes that led to simple errors and penalties, but it's to be expected in round one. In the 57th minute, it took to the 57th minute, for the Roosters to actually hit the lead for the first time in the game. But she said that the Tigers girls showed plenty of defensive grit in the last 12 minutes to ensure that the Roosters didn't get another try to take the win. So the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership doesn't have golden point. At full time, if it's a draw,
that's it.
Each side gets a point. So she said, now I do apologise if I mispronounce any of these names, but Breeze I'm not sure how to pronounce her surname, but she scored a try with a minute to go, and that was what got us the equaliser. And unfortunately, we were unable to convert, which would have put us the 2 points ahead. But she said the best players of the game were Modesty Tafuni, who was our left centre. She was strong both on and off the ball. And the left winger, so Tia Jordan Vasilovsky, scored 2 tries, and Breeze, who was the fullback for the game, also scored twice.
Wow.
So that left edge sounds like it's a bit of a weapon, and then Breeze at the back scoring 2 tries as well.
Fabulous.
So very exciting start.
Especially when the part when you said their defensive effort at the end to keep them out after they've been playing, 70 minutes non-stop, to be able to dig deep and keep them out. Champion girls. Yeah. Very proud of you.
Very, very exciting. So this weekend, the girls will take on the Newcastle Knights up at Maitland Sports Ground in Newcastle at 3:00. So not on Saturday when our boys are playing, so it is on Sunday, but it is at the same time as the NRLW trial game. So I've had this I guess rant and whinge before of the scheduling.
Yes.
Because the NRL have done it with the knock-on effect cup. So essentially the boys' 2 versions of the game, and now we're seeing it and we're going to see it throughout the season with the NRLW and the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership. How can you schedule games where players technically could play either game at the same time at different venues? Like, how does that work with staffing? So how does how does Charmaine be in 2 places at once? Who does she pick to go and support?
Yeah.
Dave, who's our head of female pathways, how does he be able to support Sandy at the NRL, but also be at the Harvey Norman games to see which girls potentially could move up to NRLW. What happens if there's an injury in the NRLW? It's the same with the men's. Like we see now with the 19-man squad, there's always 2 players who are not going to play.
Yeah.
If those 2 games were played at the same venue, there's the possibility of if first grade plays first and those 2 players don't play, they have the ability to drop back into the New South Wales Cup game and still get 80 minutes of football.
Sounds a bit logical to me, Kelly.
I just don't understand how we're supposed to support all levels of football in both the men and the women when this scheduling takes place.
I was thinking on the way in here that we should have some directors on the board of the NRL that are there exclusively for the women's game to put up the arguments for, wait a minute, how about we try this and this? Because it seems to me that the NRL aren't even trying to accommodate. They're just chucking the women in whatever suits their plans for the men, which I get in a way. I do understand. But we're the fastest growing sport in Australia, and unless we have someone dedicated on the board specifically knowing the ins and outs of how the women's game is run, including all the pathways, we're just going to get crumbs thrown.
Yeah. But as I said, it is actually the same with the men's game. So on Sunday, it went Jersey Flag, Knock-on Effect Cup, Harvey Norman Women's Premiership, all playing at Leichhardt Oval. So Knock-on Effect Cup kicked off at 2:00, I think it was, or 1:30 at Lidcombe Oval, and then the Tigers kicked off at 4:00 at Leichhardt.
So you can't be everywhere at once.
You just.
I did ask Sean, could he clone me, but he hasn't gotten back to me, so we'll see what happens.
I really just am struggling with understanding the scheduling.
Exactly.
Struggling. Last game of the NRL season for us as well. The girls are playing at Campbelltown in, I think it's their either last or second last game.
Right.
And then the boys kick off 45 minutes later at Combank Stadium against the Panthers. I'm just like.
See, nobody at NRL is thinking what's good for the women here as well.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, what's for the fans?
It's the women's game, and I'm the first one to say I put my money on the table to say I just want to let you girls know I love you, I believe in you, but I'm really busy. Good luck with it all. I watched one game and that was it. I was instantly blown away, hooked. I cannot get enough of it. And it's nothing to do with me being a woman. It's the game of rugby league and watching them play. They're amazing.
It's just more footy to watch.
But it's these girls, the energy that they put out, I work with energy and I talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Am I biased because I'm a woman? Or maybe jealous because I wish I had probably more jealous.
Yeah, we were talking about that outside.
Exactly.
That if we were 16 again, we'd be out there running around in our
they're all living my childhood for me. You know what I mean? I get that. But, they've had to do it all on the smell of an oily rag, and now that they've proved themselves. Like look at our state of origin games; they're amazing. So I'll go back to I think there should be somebody on the NRL board that is specifically there for the women's game, for when they put their agendas on the table, that person can have a look and go, wait a minute, boys, how about we swap these 2 games?
Yeah. Yeah, like they openly said that they used AI to create the draw, but you can't just push a button and ship it.
Absolutely,
there still needs to be a half a brain. At
AI
least
is not playing the game and going to watch the games and stuff like that. It's us.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I really do believe that the women's game should be represented at a board level.
It's very true. It probably won't be long until we see that, but they definitely need to.
It should have been done straight away.
It probably should have been.
Really?
Yeah, not probably should have. It should have been. You're right. But in saying that, our girls don't kick off until technically the first round is the 5th of July.
Oh, wow. It's nearly there.
So we're almost there. And so they have an early game that day against Parramatta at Combank Stadium. And then the Harvey Norman girls kick off a couple of hours later at Kellyville. So Rach and I have been looking at the draw going. So if we watch the first grade game and then jump in the car and head, we should be able to catch most of the Harvey Norman game.
Yes. It's just a lot of... Yeah, it could have been planned better.
It could have been. But yeah, so this Sunday though, so this weekend all teams are playing trials against each other.
Yes.
And so on Sunday afternoon, our girls are going to be playing a trial against the Dragons out at Jubilee Oval, kicking off at 2:45. So I'm hoping to get out there. Rachel's seeing if she can jiggle some things around, but I'm hoping I'll be able to get out there and check it out. But what are you most looking forward to for this trial and what it means about the NRLW season?
Oh, I got my eye on two players big time this year. Tara.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she looks good. She looks really good. I love watching her. She's such a workhorse player, strong girl, but she wasn't as fast on her feet. I used to watch her a bit. Now, oh my goodness, she just looks still big and built. And Racine.
Yeah.
I looked at her, I said, you look like a teenager with a woman's knowledge, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I really can't wait. Obviously my favourites in Kezzy and Sala and Caitlin. Where do I go?
Yeah.
They're all just incredible. I'm seeing where this level of fitness takes our game because just by looking at them I can see the fitness. So that's what
Charmaine spoke about that quite a bit when she was here.
How much do we love Charmaine?
The preseason, they just smashed those girls. And Kezzy mentioned it when she was at the Ambush event as well, that the new strength and conditioning coach just absolutely pushed them to their limits.
Yeah.
But all for the reason that you can't play football unless you're fit.
Exactly right.
That's why I can't play football at the moment.
Yeah, I get that. That's probably what they've done with Harvey Norman as well. For those girls, as Rachel said, I didn't watch the game, but she said they obviously tackled their hearts out to keep them out. Only fitness could do that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely correct. So what would success look like for you in this trial?
In the trial.
In the trial to start off with anyway.
Yeah, give me that trophy. I just want that trophy. In the success, okay, ball handling, the basics.
Yeah.
That's it. If they've got the fitness, I know my girls have got the determination and that hunger. I know it. I can see it. And I love it when they say to us, like, we just want to do it for you. And I'm like, for me? So the basics. I want to see the basics because I know they've got the other stuff covered. I want to see the basics.
Yeah, Kezzy spoke about that quite a bit as well, is they just stripped it right back to the fundamentals and, get the fundamentals right, be able to do the fundamentals under fatigue and everything else will come around that.
Yeah, and with the fitness that we've talked about, I'm so hopeful this year.
Just you mentioned another Leichhardt memory for me was not last season, the season before. It was absolutely bucketing down again, and it was the NRLW game against the Dragons, and we hadn't won a game all season. Yeah. I think they said it was 260 odd days since we'd won.
Yeah.
And we beat the Dragons at night in the pouring rain.
Yeah.
And the girls were just like, there was maybe about 100 of us in the stands because the weather was so bad.
Shocking.
But the girls came off the field and they hugged every one of us that was there and they just thanked us for their support, because I've also at Leichhardt had Christian come off the field after another loss in tears just inconsolable, because she just said, we feel like we're letting you down. And it's like, no, we're here. You'll get there eventually, but
exactly that. That's what you can see what they're like with us. They just want to do it for us. And I look at them and go, you've already done it for us. Every time you run on the field, you've done it for us. You know what I mean? It's a good. I don't wear mascara to the games anymore because I just cry. As soon as I start running out, I just tear up. Go look at these girls.
Such a good group of girls, and I'm so excited to get out there on Sunday and cheer them on.
I'm not sure if I can make it, darling.
That's okay. I'll cheer for all three of us.
Thank you.
That.
Thank you. I'll be ringing you every 10 minutes. What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah. So, all right, let's now switch to the men's game for a little bit and talk about Origin last night. Yeah. I can tell by your face that you don't really want to talk about Origin last night.
Was bad.
I went into this game thinking that, I wasn't super confident because I do feel that we were very lucky in game one that with Kaylin being sent off or, completely sat for the whole game, we were quite lucky in that regard. But at halftime, I was like, oh, okay, we're not looking too bad here. We're in this, 18-12 at halftime. And those 2 tries were 2 of the freakiest tries I think I've ever seen in Origin.
Yeah.
You don't often see those kinds of tries happening in Origin. And Brett messaged me at halftime because he's away for work, and he was like, "Oh, maybe we were wrong with our expectations of this game." And I said, "I know, I was planning on going to bed at halftime, but now I think I might have to stay awake for the whole thing." And now I sort of wish I did.
Yeah,
I did go to bed at halftime. So, 12-8 at halftime, and then Queensland scored 2 quick tries to start the second half. And then Marky Mark went in for his second try in about the 56th minute or so. And I was like, all right, it's not over just yet. Yeah.
And then
but then it was over.
Boom. It was terrible.
They
carved through us some of those tries. Just.
Yeah. And I know Katoni Staggs was sin binned for 10 minutes, but I think the game was.
Yeah, wasn't our game.
It was gone before then. I think Laurie Daly really had a chance to use his bench better. Again, probably a little bit biased, but how do you sit one of the best hookers in the game
with one of the best
for 80 minutes
buckets of energy you've ever met?
When Reece Robson, he ran for 15 minutes in 80 meters. He ran for 15 meters in 80 minutes.
Was that his stats?
That was it. 15 meters.
Oh dear.
I know it's a hooker. It's not all you do is run. So I won't also tell you that Payne Haas was the highest meteraged forward at 68 meters.
That's not much. Whoa. Who did all the running then? What happened?
Guys like Terrell May don't get a look in. I get argued against, running meters isn't the only stat that you can pick a player off Origin for, but the guy has a go. How can your starting props not hit 70 meters?
I have no idea.
And then your backup props that came on were lucky to even get 50 meters in the game.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand. I said on Twitter, for me, it just looks like Laurie Daly doesn't care, because that's the only excuse I can make for the way that game went last night.
Darling Laurie, I love him to bits. He's the most polite, wonderful man when you meet him, and you can on his sleeve.
Yeah, when I used to work
fabulous.
at Canberra Stadium, I met him a couple of times. But as a coach, I'm just...
So am I. I mean, we're biased to Apple without any doubt, but so is the rest of the NRL. Look at the way the guy has played.
You just had to look at Twitter last night for the number of people that are like, there's 10 minutes before halftime, Robson was out on his feet. The Queensland forwards were out on their feet. Yeah. Just get Appy out there, carving them up through the middle.
He's the one to do that.
Get those quick set restarts.
Play the balls, all of it. He's amazing.
And he just sat there. And as Benji said this morning, he got paid $30,000 to do nothing.
Thank you. Oh, okay, selfishly, great. He's fine.
I know
He's
where
playing
you're going.
For us next week.
100%.
But, there's got to be some changes made for the next Origin, because if that happens again, we've just handed it to them on a platter.
Yeah. And Suncorp, as we know, Suncorp's like Leichhardt of Origin.
Yes.
It's like, do we even bother?
Exactly. I get it.
It's so hard to win Origin.
Yeah. But it's the energy up there, isn't it? Same at Leichhardt.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be there for work, and do you think I could get a ticket?
Wow.
No. 6 weeks before the game, it's already sold out. Before game one had even literally game one had just finished, and it had already sold out.
Yeah.
So but after all that, were there any standout players? No. I thought Marky Mark did do a very good job on debut.
Okay.
But he is
one of how many? 17.
17.
Please.
Yeah.
It was almost not as bad as what Penrith did to us, but once Queensland got their tail up, you could just see it unfolding.
Yeah.
They were just the whole energy shift, and that was it. We just sat back and let it happen.
Yeah. So obviously this has pretty big implications on the remainder of the series, as we've just said.
That's right.
We go to Queensland 1 apiece, and we have to play 57,000 to 13.
I know. We can do it though.
We can do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We've done it before.
I had thought that, I would take my Blues jersey up with me that week while I'm in Brisbane, but I think I might leave the Blues jersey at home and take
That's not a safe move.
a Tigers one instead. I'll take it with me, and if we win, I might wear it on the Thursday, but, I still do value my life.
Yeah, exactly right. I value your life, darling. It's okay.
But, yeah, I might chuck a Tigers jersey in there and get up to Caxton Street anyway and just enjoy the atmosphere.
Do it.
So before we get to the Tigers, and it does relate to Origin, but one of the biggest stories that's come out in the last couple of weeks hasn't been about a result on the field, but the revelations surrounding Ashley Klein and his past gambling addiction. So it raises some interesting questions around integrity, trust, second chances. But even with all this news in the media, he was still, I'll say gifted. It's not gifted, but he was still chosen as the referee for the 3 pinnacle games of the rugby league calendar in State of Origin. This news sort of broke after game 1. So he'd refereed game 1. This news broke and a lot of people were like, well, should he be refereeing games 2 and games 3? But he was out there last night. Does this news change your confidence in Ashley Klein as an official?
1,000%. I spoke to you earlier. I'm pretty passionate about this subject. I come from 3 generations of gamblers, so I know it intimately. My father was an SP bookmaker, which is illegal gambling before the TABs come in. So I know a lot about it. I've studied it. There's a great documentary out there on poker machine gambling called Kerching. So I'm very much got bad vibes about the whole thing. Poker machine gamblers are loyal to their poker machines. They love the bells and the whistles and the noises and all that stuff. Gamblers who gamble on horses and dogs will generally gamble on anything. Because it's not the bells and the whistles and the stuff.
It's a little bit more delayed
Absolutely.
gratification.
Poker machines are designed by neuroscientists.
Yeah.
So that element is taken out of it. It's the thrill of the win and chasing it. So I know that, well, I don't know, but they will gamble on anything in order to feed their number one addiction, which would be the horses or the trots. As I said, my dad was a bookie and that he was the same. He loved the horses, he loved the trots, he loved the dogs, but he would bet on footy, 2 flies on the wall, anything else that's happening. Now, because our game is a game that's heavily gambled upon, for a person that has a gambling addiction to be in charge of a game puts a perception out there, and I'm going to borrow that from Lee Hajapantelis in a recent interview he did. It puts a perception out there amongst us fans that there could be more to this. It's gambling, you know. You can't mix it as a referee to be refereeing a sport when you have a gambling addiction to what, $400,000? That's not a little flutter.
No.
That's serious stuff.
I don't mind a little bit of a slap on the pokies, but I know, I set myself a limit and
Totally.
the night before the NRLW season launch, I put $30 in and I walked away with nothing and I was like, yep, that's more than enough.
Totally.
But you see people just sit there and just...
I've seen it firsthand, 3 generations in my family, darling. I've seen it. They'll rob from their grandmother. They'll rob from anybody to feed that addiction. So I'm not saying that that's what Mr. Klein has done, but I'm saying the perception, thank you again, Lee, for that word, amongst fans is like, boo, boo, this is really bad. The other thing that I've got a real problem is that the man who made the decision about that is also the chair of Racing New South Wales. That, my brain's trying to wrap around the conflict of interest amongst that, that there's a referee with a gambling addiction that's feeding his other chairmanship whilst casting dispersions upon his other chairmanship of the NRL. I'm really up in arms about it. I think we all should be screaming from the rooftops. He's made an enormous number of calls that we're all going, what the? I would love one of my amazing West Tigers supporters out there to go through every Klein mistake. on how many times it affected us.
I can name 2.
Exactly. But under Lee's chairmanship,
Yeah.
like he got thrown in.
Well, Lee did. The soft whistle is one that everybody refers to.
Yeah.
So against the Cowboys,
Yeah.
up in North Queensland, Kyle Felt took a dive,
Yes.
soft whistle, penalty goal, kicked the goal, beat us by 2 points.
Darling,
that
yes.
was the first game that I almost threw my television across the room.
I every now and then just move the remote control in case he's never thrown it, but just in case.
Yeah.
But these things, when like Lee was a chairman of the club, and they've cost us.
Lee did try to take that one further.
I don't blame him, but it got to the point in the end.
One.
What's
Yeah.
he going to do? Spend the rest of his days in court trying to
Yeah.
overturn decisions of, you know, this man has hurt us specifically a lot. I would love for someone to, you know, highlight every questionable call he's made. But has that been the difference between our motivation to get out there again after we've just been ripped off, not kicked in the guts because we dropped the ball or we made our own mistake, but blatantly on the Monday the NRL's gone, oh, sorry guys, got it wrong.
Well, that makes you wonder because they got rid of that Monday press conference
Why?
where Annesley used to come out and apologise to teams because
Totally.
the refs got it wrong. Now all of a sudden
Nothing.
that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, this gambling habit of his, they've known about it since 2019.
19.
Come on, that is shocking. So it's a cover-up.
It's
a cover-up.
There are so many questions that, you know, I don't think we'll ever be able to answer. But how does the NRL address this moving forward when, you know,
They won't address it.
giving people a second chance, you know?
No, they
has
won't
he-
address it
No.
because he's the chairman of Racing New South Wales as well. So there was a huge conflict of interest in trying to deal with a problem. Who's got a problem with gambling on horses, please. So the only way that this will blow up is if us fans blow it up. You've got a referee with a gambling addiction refereeing games. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how they could let that go on. And to me, it's been a cover-up. And I know it's cost our club dearly along the way. I'm not saying he threw it. I'm not, you know that.
Yeah.
No one wants to be sued for
Defamation.
speculating crap like that,
Yeah.
whatever. But there's a lot.
It just leads to unnecessary questions now.
Of course it
Every
does.
time he takes the field as the referee now, he is going to be under so much extra scrutiny, and these clubs are going to be looking for these, you know.
He should have been under that scrutiny in 2019. Not now.
No, he should have been stood down until
Exactly right.
the whole thing.
He only signed himself up to a gambling rehab program in 2023.
That's
So
only
from 19 to 23,
what was happening.
dear Lord, please, I don't want to say naughty words.
Anyway,
Yes, thank you. I told you I'm passionate.
I know,
It's
no,
in my
you are.
face because of my family
Yeah.
history of it. And most of my family don't talk to me because I don't drink or gamble.
yeah,
Well, not so much don't. Rarely do I, I have a shandy at the footy,
at
but
the footy.
I don't make it a habit,
Yeah.
And gambling, no, I don't. I just don't like it.
yeah.
It takes away from my game. I'd hate to be, to lose. It hurts me enough when we lose, let alone lose $20 or $100. It's like,
I've always said while there is betting on the game, there's always going to be questions around this kind
that's
of thing.
life.
Like,
That's life now. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
We can't go back. It used to be doubles, you picked the
Yeah.
first, that was it. That was
Yeah.
fun. But no, it's a monster industry, and I do understand it. I get it. Like Holman Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
But clubs have to donate a monster percentage of their
That's right,
profits
to
back
community
to the
service.
community.
Yeah.
That's why if you want to gamble, go to the club. Any club, preferably Holman Barnes Club, but just go to any club and go and do it there. At least you know it's going back to the community.
Yeah.
Gambling in pubs, I hate.
yeah,
I hate it.
yeah. All right,
Thank you for my rant.
let's move on. Let's talk about the win on the weekend. Good times,
was-
happier times. So we've
Yes.
already talked about how Leichhardt Oval was such an amazing place to be at on Sunday, but it made it even better with that win over the Titans. As always, the boys like to give us a little bit of a, heart attack.
100%. But come on.
During the
Didn't
game.
us, that crowd of ours get them home with some penalties
How
and
good
stuff?
were the singing?
Fabulous.
And,
It's
Country Road, Take Me Home.
Home, yes.
Country Road.
Yeah.
And Have You Ever Seen the Rain? And
Yeah.
I think, the DJ did a very good job
Brilliant.
keeping the crowd going. And Scotty McRae as well. Like,
Fabulous.
shout out to Scotty. There were some times during that game where, you know, you could have heard a pin drop.
Exactly.
And there was almost 18,000 humans in that venue.
Yeah.
But he did such a good job getting them back up. And if it wasn't for that crowd, we potentially may not have won that game.
I agree.
So the spark, what was the moment, the player or the effort that gave you a lift and showed you what the team could be?
Darling, I can't think of it. What's the spark? Truly. No, I'm at it. There's too much that I could go into. more that we come from behind. We didn't. The spark, me, on being the guard of honor, and seeing warriors, them running into battle of this look in their eyes. I've never seen it that far up close in a come from behind win.
Yeah.
I've been there before. I've done the guard of honor before, and it's been great. But this one was just. I don't know what Benji said at halftime, but it was written all over their faces. So that for me personally, that was my thing.
Yeah.
I have to say that was unforgettable moment.
Well, Rach sent hers through and she said she couldn't decide between Luai and the Leichhardt Oval crowd.
Oh,
so,
yes. That too, Rach.
Yep,
Love you.
Both lifted and carried the team to victory, so both deserve to be recognised for how they got us over the line.
Yeah.
Luai definitely played his best game for the Tigers.
Yeah.
For me, it's very similar. We've spoken at length about the Leichhardt difference on Sunday, and I think just every single person in a West Tigers piece of clothing, whether you were in your old school Balmain Tigers or your old school West Magpies or your
2000, this is my Lackey jersey,
your 2005 jersey or your newest jersey that you bought as you walked in the gates.
Yes.
Every single person got behind that side.
It was fabulous.
And
seeing the kids, the amount of kids there that were dressed up, the girls in their ponytails and the claw holding.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Loved it. All right. What about the frustration? So the play,
All right,
the decision.
Before we go back to it, sorry, just on the spot, Alex Seyfarth.
Alex Seyfarth, you did say that before.
Love that man to pieces. Always have. Even when he was giving away penalties, I would say to my husband, leave him, just leave him. He's going to come good. He's got that red head.
Fire in his belly.
Now he has controlled aggression. I'm just over the moon how he played.
It wasn't a high tackle, that one that he got penalised on the line for either. But
he's targeted, but we'll deal with that. But he did take a little bit of the attention off Bunty.
he did.
Bunty just did his job. Boom, straight in. He was great.
Thanks for listening to my advice, Benji. Where I said,
Benji, where would you be without us?
Take Pole off the starting lineup and put Bunty in. And
Philip said the same
it was
thing. He loves it.
perfect.
He played brilliant, and you can tell he wants that ball, and he's not going to let anyone take
he's just got to run a straight line through the middle of them.
That's what he did. Loved it.
Yeah.
But Luai and Seyfarth were huge sparks.
All right. So Rachel's frustration was the defence that allowed them to just sort of cut through the middle for those three really quick tries, 2 before halftime and then the one after halftime, and that they just sort of felt that there was this drop in defence in the middle. Yeah.
Same. You get just within a couple of minutes, we've gone from this high energy, nothing's going to stop us team to what was that? Hang on. Oh, did they score?
What's going
on here?
Yeah.
It's how that just flicks like that and happens is rugby league.
Yeah. What about the talking point? So the thing everybody should be discussing coming out of this week's game.
Just how good are we? How good's Leichhardt? Now the talking point is we've won more, all right? We're getting there, and we can prove that we can come from behind and do it. The refereeing was quite fair on the day. I really don't have anything much to say about that.
Yeah.
So the talking point, I'll go back to what I said in the beginning. Just look at who we are as an entity. And let's build on that even more now.
Yeah. Rach said something very similar. She said, we need to ensure that we raise the same atmosphere at Campbelltown this weekend.
Exactly right.
We need Campbelltown to become a ground that intimidates oppositions and get in refs' ears like Leichhardt does.
Yes, that's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
So you've said that Alex Seyfarth was your standout player.
Oh, my Alex, yes.
Yep.
And he's having another baby.
I know, I saw that.
Flipping.
Very exciting.
All these tiger babies coming, they're beautiful.
Very, very exciting. So for me, my standout player, I thought Joe Sessi on debut
was brilliant.
Was phenomenal.
Of course. Debut, I love them.
He had that little bobble in the first half, but that was more the fact that watching it on the replay, Terrell didn't really play the ball properly.
Okay.
So Joe Sessi didn't have a clean ball to pick up. Right. So he, let off on that one. But his defense.
Amazing.
Like for a 21-year-old, chopping them at the legs.
That's what 21.
Amazing.
Yes, I know they're men at 21, but in our eyes, they're still babies growing.
You know what I mean? To, the average age of an NRL player.
Totally. Look how much Alex at Seyfarth has filled out himself and grown and developed.
Yeah.
But as a 21-year-old, he was a, hot-headed firecracker, but now he's just this mature, still the red-headed aggression. I love it. I love it. Don't ever change. He can't change it. It's in his DNA.
Yeah. So, he's just sort of...
Yes, to see a debutant tackle his heart out like that was fabulous.
Yeah. So, there'd been a lot of talk about Jared Haywood, but Jared's still only 19. So there's a lot of talk about Jared being the future of the West Tigers in that hooking position. Yeah. But the fact that we'd sort of been in this position where we'd done the Latu experiment a bit in the 9 jersey, and it had been different having him come off the bench and just sort of fill in that middle part of the game. But having him start at 9, not many people were super confident about. But having this kid literally he was Jersey Flag Player of the Year last year.
Exactly. And now he is starting in number 9.
Yeah,
like, wow.
And now he's playing on the bench and will likely replace Benji for a little bit.
He's our future for sure.
Very exciting. We did end up with another injury though, with KPP
yes,
doing his pec. There were stories at the end of the game that it wasn't as bad as they originally thought, but then he had gone for scans and it does look like he's out for the season. So
hang on, I heard 12 weeks.
Well, it's around 15.
Right, well, we're back for the semis.
Sorry, back for the finals.
Kai,
so we'll have,
back for the semis, darling,
we'll
wherever
have
you
KPP back for round 1 of the finals. I love it. Perfect.
Yes.
But in terms of the big picture of our season, what does this win mean for us
at
this
lot.
point?
We had to win it after what happened with Penrith. No, and I can't remember who it was that said it, no matter who Penrith played, they would have put that amount of points on it. The magic was just there that day.
They were in a mood.
And we sort of helped them dropping the ball left, right and centre. But it was a must-win, A, at Leichhardt, B, because of what happened the week before. But that it was a come-from-behind win, come-from-behind win has pushed us up again.
Yeah.
All right? I'd love to play Penrith again and see how he'd go.
Yeah. So it helps to keep us in that above the 50% win rate
For sure.
as well, which we haven't had at this time of the season for
10 years
I
now.
can't remember.
I know.
Can't remember the last time. But as you said, that come from behind after losing KPP, having to shuffle, people in different positions in order to cover that loss, to be down at halftime. It was just all the ingredients of a West Tigers loss in the past that we were able to overcome and tick all of those boxes and say, nah, we're going to do this. Nah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this.
And I saw it when they were running out at halftime. It was amazing.
So this Saturday, round 16, we will be playing the Dolphins out at Campbelltown. We've said that, kicking off at 3:00. So Benji released the team on Tuesday. And so the back line is essentially the same. So Jareem's at the back, Taruva and Stafford Toa on our wings, and Taylor May and Patrick Herbert in the centres. Jerome and Jock again in the halves. Terrell and Fanua has been named to start, but we'll see whether Benji does the Benji shuffle before kickoff. Appy, after his really, really tough assignment.
Totally backing up.
Zero errors, no tackles missed. RP. No tackles missed, no errors last night. So he obviously had a 10 out of 10 performance. Totally. Now the back row, a little bit, we've got Tony Suka and Sione Fainu starting in the back row, and then your mate Alex Seyfarth in the number 13 jersey. Then Josesi takes the number 14 jersey on the bench. Bunty, Mav and Charlie Murray are rounding out that 17 with Hamasi Makasini and Latu Fainu in 18 and 19. Then on the extended reserves bench, we've got Heath Mason, Peter. Now, this one I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce, but I think it's Tarteo.
That'll do.
And then in the jersey 22 is Adam Dewey. So
there's no way.
Is there?
He's just putting that jersey on him to make him feel nice.
Benji's playing some mind games, we think.
I think.
So Bunty and Mav, we had the Platinum members night on Tuesday night at the club.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a bit of trivia. We got put into tables and then each table got assigned 2 players.
Yeah.
So Bunty and Mav were assigned to table 3.
Nice.
Got to have a really good chat to both of them. Oh my God. These guys are big, but until you are standing next to them, you don't realize how big they are.
Yes.
To me, Sunia Taruva, Tito looks short on the field.
Yeah.
But when I stand next to him, he's taller than me. The reason why he looks short out there is because everybody else he plays with is 3 foot taller than him. Like, these guys are huge.
Yes.
But they are also the loveliest humans.
I love that.
So Jareem was there, Alex was there. He got the rounding applause as he walked in the door.
I'm so happy for him. I really am.
Yeah, Bunty, Mav, as I said, Tito was there, Samuela was there. Who else was there? Sol Sakura was there. Charlie and Jock were there. So it was a really nice mix of boys and it was a really great night. The club did a really good job.
I love
the
that.
food was amazing. We had Pizza Boys pizzas and yeah, it was just a really fun night. But with this side, where do you think we need to work on? What does Benji need to get the boys up for between now and Saturday? Tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
Captain's run tomorrow out at Campbelltown likely.
Look, it's just harnessing their energy. They're all trained. They're all professionals. He's done it too. That's what I love. And I love how he says he still wants to put his boots on and have a
he
go.
Probably could. Half of our coaching staff probably could, in all
Absolutely.
honesty.
Absolutely. What I would say to them is I want that same energy that you took on in the second half at Leichhardt Oval.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when we start, we got to pretend we're behind and we got to claw it back.
Yeah.
That's how we got to start the game.
Don't let them get out to a
not
early
now,
lead.
not at all. We got to stop.
We've done first.
Exactly, but it's just harness that energy of it's ours. We got to get this. We have to get this.
Yep. We need to get the crowd into the game early.
Oh,
so
they will.
Being the first to score is going to help.
Yes,
in that way.
Yes.
Get the crowd in. Get the crowd hyped. There's going to be a lot of kids out there because kids get in for free.
I love that.
With a paying adult. So it's a really good opportunity to get in first, get the crowd hyped up and then ride that energy, as you said.
Well, they've made game day, our club has, so much more exciting now with the singers, never tear us apart. I love that. All right, that's got to be. And someone said, some other club's using it. Good luck to them. We can both use it. It's whatever. They're never tearing us apart. But the atmosphere I've noticed since Sean has taken over, it's just way more exciting. The fireworks and the singing. And I think last time at Campbelltown they gave away thousands of flags to everybody, and it was electric. It was fabulous. So
so that sort of leads me into something I was going to bring up right at the very end, but I'll bring it in now. This Saturday before the game, so at 2:30, over 400 dancers from across Sydney are going to be taking the field for the Dance Spectacular. So you know how every season we have the Dance Spectacular? So that's on this weekend. So
get out there early, everybody. This is going to be great.
So Natalie from Pom Pom Entertainment reached out to me and asked if I could just shout out so people knew that it was on, and I said, of course.
Totally.
So back in 2008, while I was still teaching, as I may have mentioned, I used to do competitive cheerleading.
And I was in the cheer squad when I was at school.
Cheered for the North Sydney Bears.
So
they weren't in the NRL at the time, but I used to coach my schoolgirls team. And so in the 2008 West Tigers Dance Spectacular at the SCG, we were playing the Bunnies. My girls performed at that as well.
Brilliant.
And it's just such an amazing opportunity for these young girls. But this year there's the youngest, I think she said, was 4, all the way up to there's some mums of some of the kids that are going to be part of it as well. A very long-term friend of mine who I used to actually dance at the Bears with, Anita. She's going to be out there with her daughter Blair.
What an experience for the two of them, mother and daughter.
So
get out there and support everyone. That's really cool.
That's right. So a massive shout out to Natalie and all of the crew that are doing the Dance Spectacular. We really hope that it goes really, really well, and we can't wait to get out there and cheer you all on at 2:30. But I guess score predictions before we wrap up.
22-8.
22-8.
Just a nice, just
Sounds
a nice,
good.
easy win.
I actually didn't think of one again.
Yeah.
So we'll stick with 22-8.
Done. It's unanimous.
Yep. I think the big thing for us this weekend is, the Dolphins just had 6 players play Origin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 5 because Jack Bostock didn't end up. He was the one that was left on the bench.
Yeah.
With Benji earning his 30K for, doing nothing.
City,
so
that's all right. Sign me up.
He'll go back to, Redcliffe with that nice little extra wad in his pocket.
Yep.
But they've got some speed to burn. So
have we.
That's right. We saw it in the Titans. They've got speed to burn.
Yes.
We did see, unfortunately, 3 times, but eventually we nailed that down and came on top of it. So I think you're right. We've just got to get in early, get the energy up, and get in and get it. Get the crowd involved. So, as I said, Saturday afternoon, 3:00 kickoff, but we will also have an ambush event at the Sherwood from 1. So,
Wow.
there is no excuse to not get out there early on Saturday. So, we'll be at the Sherwood, which is literally just outside the gates. We have Dean Collis coming to talk to us this weekend. So, Dean played for the West Tigers from 2003 to 2009. So Gary will be interviewing him. We'll be having a podcast chat. So there'll be myself, Maddie G from Speak Free and Heart of the Jungle, and Gary from Claws Out, and the West Tigers TV crew will be jumping on that.
Look at this. We're just fabulous.
We'll also have Yachty's quiz. So make sure if you're interested, you brush up on your West Tigers and Dolphins trivia and your Dean Collis trivia. So I will give you a hint, and Yachty will kill me for giving this away. But Dean Collis was our only undefeated player during the 2005 season.
Love that.
There
That's an accolade I'd like to have tattooed on my arm.
So make sure you head on down. Murray and Rach will have the lucky door prizes. We'll have giveaways from the club as well as the Sherwood. So it's really just a fun afternoon. Come and say g'day, meet some other West Tigers supporters. And as we said before, if you're looking for someone to carpool, to games, this is the best place to find people, because without it, I wouldn't have met half the people that I go to games to now when I have nobody else to go to.
Yeah.
And it's just a really great afternoon. So I think that wraps us up. We are literally at just over an hour again. And
I feel like 5 minutes. That's
I feel like 5 minutes.
It's great.
So thank you once again for joining us. It's been amazing having you in again. We've talked a lot this afternoon. We've, girls have got 2 big games this weekend.
Yes.
Our boys have a big game this weekend as well. But thank you again for joining us, and thank you everybody for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed Hear Her Roar, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Thanks.
And go the Tigers.